Before we leave the topic of custom handlers, I want to also mention this possibility for building a custom handler, which is the .ashx extension. It turns out ASP.NET has a pre-built extension called .ashx, which lets you place a custom handler implementation directly into the file or as a code behind file, and it will compile that class and dispatch a request onto it. And the advantage of using ashx is that you won't have to configure anything. You don't have to configure anything in web.config, and you don't have to configure anything in IIS to get a handler, get a request dispatched onto your own custom handler class. So let's go ahead and just try this real quick to give you a sense for what's possible. So back here, recall what we had to do to deploy our custom handler. We had to register an HTTP handler entry for the custom handler. We had to write the class, and we also had to wire it up in IIS to tell it to pass requests for data.csv onto ASP.NET. So let's write another custom handler, but this time I'm going to use the generic handler template, and let's just call it sample.ashx. And notice they actually stub out the implementation for you. So you just place your class definition directly in the ashx file, and you can set your content type, and you can write responses back, and that all sort of works as you would expect. So let's go ahead and just try putting a reference to this custom handler up on our main page here. And just say call simple handler. And this is going to map onto sample.ashx. So again, the advantage here is it's not deriving from page, so you're not incurring any of the page architecture around you, the server-side controls and all that. So it's really for building raw endpoints in your system, but using ASHX avoids having to create associations between extensions. Now, keep in mind, you often are building a custom handler because you want to create custom associations with extensions. And if that's the case, you definitely don't want an ASHX. That's not going to help you. But if you're just using it to build a custom endpoint, you don't care what the extension looks like, and all you want to do is write some code to process the request, this is a quick way of doing that. So let's go ahead and try running it. And all it should do is say hello world, and it does. So very straightforward. So keep that in mind as you're building custom handlers. That might be useful if you're just looking for a quick way to get a custom handler up and running without having to go through the configuration.